Hello, and today is March 1st, and welcome to Enjoy the Movies, where I, Nam, give you my 2 cents about movies that I watch. So anyway, this episode I want to dedicate to just the Chronicle of Riddick trilogy. Now, for those of you who don't know, years ago, I forgot when it was exactly, but there was a sci-fi movie that came out, and it starred Vin Diesel as the main character, and it was called Pitch Black. Now, Pitch Black is this sci-fi movie where pretty much the setup, this transport ship has to take a bunch of extra people on as passengers, and one of them just happens to be an well, not an convict, but a convict who needs to be transported, and that's Vin Diesel's character. And what happens with that is the ship crash lands on a planet in an emergency situation, and they end up having to survive on this basically desert planet with 3 suns. And anyway, so they kind of build up each and every character. It's actually fairly thorough, I feel. And they build up the main character to be this really badass convict that has extraordinary superhuman powers, and he has this strange weakness to light. And on a planet with 3 suns, you would think that you'd never be lacking light. Well, it's called Pitch Black for a reason. So anyway, needless to say, I needed to watch Pitch Black before I could watch Chronicles of Riddick, and the reason why I wanted to do that was because there's this customer that pretty much tells me that, oh, I have to watch this movie, because he said, I'll love it, it'll be like the best movie in the world. But anyway, needless to say, the end result, we'll get to that in a little bit. So anyway, Pitch Black, definitely like the movie. It's very solid, very well written, no plot holes, has some horror elements, even though it's mostly just an action sci-fi movie. But it's done very well, and I don't know if Vin Diesel's acting or if that's how he really is. No, I'm sure he's a nice guy, because I've seen some of those behind the scene, the making of specials in other movies that he's in. He seems like a chill guy. So anyway, but he plays the part very well. Like, he looks it. He's got the body, he's got the look, and then also his character has very strange eyes. And there's a couple of comments that are made throughout the movie, which you'll then again hear reflected in the sequel, Chronicle of Riddick. So that's pretty much that. Now, the reason why they call this a trilogy, I'm not sure if they really should, even though I guess that's pretty much what it is, because the first one is Pitch Black. The sequel to that is Chronicles of Riddick, but there was an animated short made that basically acts as a bridge in between the two. Now, I didn't really do in-depth research, but I did take a glance over. Apparently, it's called Chronicle of Riddick Dark Fury, and what ends up happening with that is, like, it pretty much takes place in between the two movies and kind of bridges, like, a little bit of, the events that happened from the first one to the second one, A. And B, it also supposedly builds the character of Riddick. So, anyway, needless to say, the short was only like 20 minutes long or something, so 20 some odd minutes. And I watched it, and it wasn't too intriguing. Like, I don't think it helped out that much, and I don't really think... I mean, animation style was similar to that. It really reminded me of the MTV Aeon Flux, like the original, not the movie, but there was this animated Aeon Flux show that it reminded me of. Like, I've never actually seen the show, but I've seen clips of what the style looks like, and it's very similar. I think it's because it was made by the same guy. But anyway, needless to say, that was alright. So Pitch Black the movie, it's good. The short, not so much, especially if it's only 20 minutes, so I wouldn't just watch it by itself. My roommate's actually one of my roommates, he owns all 3 of them in this nice little Chronicle of Riddick set, so you get The Short and Pitch Black on the first disc, and then on the second disc, it's like the unedited director's cut for Chronicle of Riddick. So, anyway, jumping right into Chronicles of Riddick, this movie picks up years later, like many years after the first one, and basically Riddick is being targeted by who knows what at the beginning of the movie, and he basically goes out to seek seek out his potential killer, but he doesn't. Basically, he jumps through a lot of hoops, goes through a lot of crazy dilemmas, and needless to say, some of the trademark scenes is him getting himself out of like restraints. He does some crazy stunts that no normal person would do. Crazy special effects, lots of good action scenes. It's just ridiculous. Everything seems very smooth, seamless. It's really just a high quality film. Not only that, if you're a huge sci-fi fan, the plot is deep. It makes you feel, I don't know how to describe the feeling, but what I would call it is probably like an epic feeling. So definitely like that kind of feeling. It's good. Pretty much places like a nice, value on the outcome of the movie. Makes us the viewers feel like that the outcome of this battle matters. So needless to say, there's a lot of planet jumping and intergalactic space travel and all that fun stuff. So anyway. Chronicles of Riddick, Pitch Black, Dark Fury, and Chronicles of Riddick, they all complement each other very well. I think they all work together as a group to basically, enhance everything. Although, as I said, I don't think Dark Fury was really necessary, but needless to say, it's there, so, if you wanted to go the extra jump, you can totally do that. But anyway, Chronicles of Riddick, definitely an excellent movie, kind of long, but I won't lie, director's cut, I actually think most of it is fairly essential. So I'm not going to argue with the director on what he wanted to put in his movie. I don't know what the theatrical version originally was like, but it's pretty solid. Like, everything, I think, had a purpose for the most part, and built up everything, and it was just so good. But it's just a tad over 2 hours long, so it wasn't bad. But either way, it's pretty good. Definitely recommend. Definitely worth a watch, especially if you're a sci-fi fan. If you're not, or if you don't like Vin Diesel, then don't worry about it. It's it's just one of those things to watch. But I just wanted to do this as a group because it's Chronicles of Riddick, and I just finished watching it like right before I started recording this. So anyway, needless to say, it was great. Definitely recommend these films. If you have to skip any parts, skip Dark Fury. But if you like animation, definitely worth a watch because the style is unique. So unless you've seen all of Aeon Flux. But anyway, that's all I got, and talk to you guys later. Enjoy the movies.